Hey, how's it going? I am so excited today to talk about focus, and I'm going to actually do three different videos. The first one is the one we're going to talk about today, which is focus by having structure. So let's take a look here. Okay, so I think that it's awesome to think about time management, focus management, being productive. But I think the very first step in all of that is having some structure in your space, because when you don't have structure, it can really be hard to focus. It can be distracting. It can be hard to dig through all the extra stuff to get to what you want to work on. It can be hard to prioritize. When I'm in my own office, if for some reason I have too much stuff around me, it can be very overwhelming and make me feel more scattered. So having systems, structure, having peace, being able to find what you need quickly goes a long way toward focus and working productively. So let's take a look here. Here is an office that would be kind of hard to sit down and work in, right? There's stuff on both of the chairs. There's nowhere to really put anything down. There's papers all over. You have to move things before you can even get to work. So that can be very stressful and it can be very distracting. So let's look at some ways that you can have structure in your office. And the good news is these are all pretty darn easy to implement. First thing, keep the supplies that you use all the time at your fingertips. And it doesn't mean you have to have everything at your fingertips, just what you need. So when I'm working with the client, if they have a computer and it's surrounded by, 3 different pencil cups, that's more than you need. You can only use so many pens, pencils, highlighters at one time. So maybe you just have the one pencil cup and all the extra supplies are stored a little further away, the backup supplies. In this case, we were able to just organize the drawers very nicely. So here's a before picture. So not very efficient, right? Hard to, work in this kind of a space, but very easy when you just use little baskets, little trays. These are things my client already had on hand, and now everything is right at their fingertips. Okay. Having an inbox for the paper that's coming your way, the mail that's coming in, this is just a first dropping zone, right? So instead of the papers that you need to deal with being spread all over the place, the mail that you need to open, it's just having that basket, that inbox. It could be a pocket on the wall, like you might see at the doctor's office, but someplace that you initially put your paper before you process it. Then as you sit down, have your cup of coffee, you start processing, opening things up, taking a look at what you have, having some type of an action system at your fingertips for the papers you are going to be working on because they require action can be very helpful because it gets them out of being in a pile, having to dig through things, and instead quickly get your fingers on what you need. So an action system typically only has maybe like 6 folders. It could be a to-do folder or clients to call or upcoming events, coupons. I mean, it really depends on what you're dealing with on a daily basis, but it's not a complicated system. Another system to have would be files. Going paperless is awesome, but a lot of times we still have some paper files. So having a good system in a filing cabinet that you can trust, labeled the way you think, so you feel like you can find what you need to have an easy recall, those are all very important. So here's an example. This is using 3.5-inch tabs on the left-hand side. So they're nice and long and you can get more than one word on there. It's also using center position only folders. So you don't have the zigzag left, center, right kind of thing, which actually can be very nice. But once you add a new folder, it can kind of throw off the whole system. So this is a way to avoid that. And again, labeling the way you think so that you can easily recall and find what you need. If you're scanning, I recommend getting an actual scanner, not just using your 3-in-1 desktop printer. So if you're going to be scanning in any kind of volume, having an actual scanner. Okay, here is that same office with structure. What a difference, right? So there's an inbox for paper that needs to be processed. There's the action system, and it's got the hanging folders and labels. clutter-free on top. Doesn't mean you can't have some personal things, a little bit of decor, but you don't want it to be too distracting. Files in the file cabinet, labels on things so you can quickly and easily find what you need, or somebody else could quickly and easily find something if you have to direct somebody. Clear space. You can just sit right down and get to work there. You don't have to move anything out of the way. You can sit right down in the chair. Copier, scanner right there close by. A few supplies at this person's fingertips, but not too much. And there you go. So if you see anything in this little tutorial that you could implement right away, I would love to hear about it in the comments. Or if you're already doing something that's working really well, I'd love to hear about that in the comments. And I hope you have a great day. And just remember that I do help clients both in person and virtually with residential organizing, with business organizing, and productivity issues. And I hope you have a great day.